A weasel walks into a bar, and the bartender says, "Wow, I've never served a weasel before. What can I get for you?" "Pop," goes the weasel. Hello, pioneers, and thank you for joining me. My name is Bedifer, and on today's episode, we're going to unlock coal power and build our first coal power plant.
Milestone note.
Okay, we've unlocked coal generators now. These are going to require reinforced iron plates and rotors to build, just like the smart plating. Good thing we have a little bit of production there. We've also unlocked pipes and pumps and pipe junctions and supports and fluid buffers, which is like a storage container but for fluids and gases. Excellent. Last but not least, water extractors. We actually need water for the coal power generators, the coal generators. That's what they're called. Let's see, we have 46 rotors, which means we could build 4. But I think I'd like to get 8 to start. Okay, looking at future milestones, vehicles need modular frames. Steel needs modular frames. Advanced steel, hypertubes, and logistics all require the steel production to be online before that. But improved melee combat only requires the things that we are already making. So I think we'll do that one next, and that'll be the last milestone we worry about for a little while until we finish the coal power plant, and the next episode we'll set up a modular frame factory. And then then the episode after that, or in the future, we'll start doing the steel. Okay, before we leave to build the coal power plant, let's check on coupons. 8. Awesome. Wait, did I have one already? No. So we've got 8 to spend. These say unavailable because we haven't unlocked it in the MAM. You can see right there it says we need to do the silica tree. This one we need to unlock the steel production. But I think what I want right now are the roofs. Perfect. And let's build a personal storage box right here to hold extra coupons. There. Now we're utilizing that. Awesome. Well on our way to using every facet of the game. All right. Now we can scan for coal. So let's do that. I did see some coal nodes on the way to the quartz crystal up here to the north. That caught my eye. Ooh, look at there. Yeah, there's 4 over there. Looks like a 3. This one's closest, but I think I'm going to use that for truck fuel for our first iteration of trucks. So let's head over there. And another benefit of doing that one is the power lines are already run over there. So if we build our power plant over there, all we have to do is connect it to the power line that's already right there, and it'll add to our grid. I mentioned previously how coal power is automated and it will no longer require us to do anything. And that is true. Oh, there must be a uranium rock right there. Yep, right there. So it's radioactive. That would kill us if we stood there long enough. Anyway, while the biomass requires us to put by hand fuel in, we can use miners and belts to supply the coal generators with coal and water extractors to supply the water needed. However, not the danger, but a hiccup you could get is if you were to lose power, if you were to have a power cut with coal power, and it's not as simple necessarily as just flipping the breaker to turn it back on, because the coal generators require, the coal generators require water, and the water extractors require power to output water. And so if you have a power outage, you have to power the water extractors first. Anyway, it can be a pain. So our power lines are running right down there, and the coal I saw was somewhere down there. So, alley-oop. There are no water monsters, so don't be afraid of the water. All right. Let's find our coal. Okay, of course there's another power outage. I am sick of that sound. Okay, so this node has a rock on it. Without an obelisk to blow this up, we can't use it, so let's go over here. Should really take this opportunity, one of the opportunities that we're back at the hub, to unlock a gun. Write that down. Put that on the to-do list. Okay, Mark 1 miner. We need the equipment workshop for a second. All right, these are normal nodes, so we're going to have 60 to work with. The coal generators consume 15 coal per minute, so a 60 per minute coal node can supply enough coal for 4 coal generators. So we're actually going to need one right there too. Coming down the pipeline will be Mark II miners, which simply double the output, which are going to be really nice when we get to that point. But until then, this will work. Since the coal generators need water, I'm going to build the generators down here on the water. Literally, on foundations on the water. There's tons of these spitters down here. All right. I want it to be low to the water, but not underwater. So maybe like that. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah, I like this for the height. Let's change the material. Let's go with concrete again. Maybe we can color it. Let's try black. For coal. I like it. That looks nice. Coloring is free, so we don't have to spend anything to do that. Let's be sure that the water extractors can fit. Oops, we do not need 8 of those. We only need 3. right. 1, 2, 3 water extractors. And that will provide us enough water. Check out how big these coal generators are. Huge. Oh yeah, this isn't even going to be enough. Still, we'll get there eventually. Okay, it's time to put down our first coal generator. I want it to be right about there. Excellent. All right, there's 3. Just leaving a little bit of room between it. So they don't feel so cramped. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, we've got all 8 laid out with the 3 water extractors we're going to need. Now we just need to hook them up. You need to hook up 3 things on these things. You need to supply them with coal, you need to supply them with water, and you need to connect them with power lines to your power grid. So let's do that now. Let's add some walls. Let's add walls right here. There are some 1 meter foundations. All right, I'm going to add a little bit of a roof area right here. Catwalk ramp, that's what I want. And we'll have it go to, let's do right here. There's some more walls. Delete all those. Once again, to do mass delete, I'm hitting F and then holding left control and painting. That's how you select multiple things. You can see the dismantle limit in the middle, there's 50 items. Let's put a little cheeky craft bench right here, just in case we need one. And kind of fill in this opening. Let's hook up the power. We're gonna run it to the ceiling. Excellent. Let's see where that is in relation. So it's just 1 click back in the middle, 1 So I actually built that the wrong one. I actually want this one, double wall outlet, because then it connects them through the wall I can connect the power to this building right there. There. Okay, so that's the power lines connected to the coal generators. Now they need coal and water. Water extractors output starting at 120 cubic meters per minute. Mark 1 pipes can hold 300 water per minute. So you'll notice there's 3 of these. 3 times 120 cubic meters is 360 cubic meters, which is greater than can fit through 1 pipe. But the way we'll connect these is that we'll have them connected to each other, but then they'll only send the pipes will be balanced, so they'll never need to be more than 300 in any one single pipe. This coal generator can hold 50 cubic meters, but needs to consume 45 cubic meters per minute. So it needs 45 water and 15 coal, and that's going to generate us 75 megawatts, excuse me. So 75 megawatts times 8 generators, this is going to produce us 600 megawatts of power. We're going to use 45 water for each one times 8, and you'll see that that's 360. And once again, to clarify, the water extractors, 3 of them at 120 equals 360. So this is going to be a perfectly balanced coal power plant. I want to run the water at this level so it doesn't have to go up any inclines, and we don't have to worry about head lift or any pumps. So I'm going to run the coal a little bit higher. So to do that, I'm going to start with the conveyor lifts. I've clicked now to lock it to the input to the coal generator, and now scrolling my mouse wheel will flip that other half around, and I can even raise it up. However, I think I'm just going to do the lowest possible. And the game is smart enough to remember when you're going to hook up a lot at once. You'll see how I flipped that around 90 degrees. It's going to remember that I want that like that. So it's pretty nice to be able to just double click. Perfect. Now, to get to that exact height from an input port on a machine using a vertical lift at the smallest height possible, you need 3 splitters. So we're going to build 1, 2, and then make sure the third one is at the right height. And now you'll see that that's going to perfectly fit into there. And so that's the way we're going to run the coal. Similar to it remembering, you'll see these splitters are turning as they go up, but then the top one is the right direction. So again, the game is making it easy. That's not lined up correctly. Neither is that one. The game is making it easy to build this sort of quickly by remembering where we want these things. A little tip and trick here. You can click and then move it around to change the output, to change the direction and stuff like that, or where you want it to lead. But if it's somewhere close like this and you just double click, it's going to run the straight belt right where it needs to go. So you can save time there again by double clicking. There. Now the coal's all done. I don't really love how these float like that. Let's see if we can find a piece of architecture to help with that. There. I like that. Quite like that a lot. There. Perfect. Now they're all supported. I like that. That's looking good. Now to run the belt over to the coal source, we did need Mark II belts. So Let's not forget to do that. All right, so I've clicked it once there. And I'm going to go up 1, 2 to make it straight. And we can start using those pillars. There. That's this. If you didn't see that, I clipped it right over that belt. But this is the type of clipping that I love, and why the soft clipping is so spectacular, because I could just encompass that pole right there and now make it look more supported. It's really cool. All right, now we need to run the pipeline. Should we run it right here? Or we can run it out here. This should be lined up. Okay, for right now I'm going to add this 6 to my hotbar, 7 to my hotbar. I haven't been using the hotbars a ton, but when I start building bigger factories, I certainly will want to. We actually have 10 hotbars you can use. If you hold Alt and shift your middle mouse button, you can click up through all these different hotbars. $45, $90, $135, $180. I just want to make sure no part of this is going to require more than 300 cubic meters in any one spot. I did this just horribly. There. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this water extractor to be lined up with this pipe, and then I'll move this one to be lined up with this pipe, and then the last one to be lined up here. Okay, let's paint the roof. All right, let's add some railings. Now I want to add some catwalks that go right down this way. All right, another corner. There, I'm thinking this already. Okay, now remember when I said that the water extractors need to be powered up to provide water to allow these things to generate power? We're going to do that with a biomass burner before we hook these up to the rest of the power grid. So let's run coal line over and we'll be ready to fire it up. Okay, I ran out of belts trying to hook up the coal, so I've got 120 lines running till here and then a merger, and I'm going to bring in the 260 lines from here. It's a little bit wonky and it's going to be an easy fix. I just, we had a power outage when I've been over here building this, and so we haven't been stockpiling the belts, the Mark II belts, so I didn't even bother running back to get more because nothing's been running. I'm going to keep this power grid separate still for those coal extractors and these water extractors. If we look at this, even though it's not connected to the power, it is going to tell us that our max consumption is 70 megawatts. That's important because the biomass burners only make 30. So we're going to need 3. All right. Fill these up with some... we're going to fill these up with biomass now. And then turn them on. Excellent. We're making 90. We have a capacity of 90 megawatts from the 3 30 megawatt generating biomass generators. We're only using 70. So now we just need to let this run a little bit. See, the water extractors have spun up. We're going to start filling these pipes with water. It already is going. And now we just need to wait for the coal to come over from those coal generators. That's going to take a minute. So let's edit this part out. Look at that. By the power vested in me by the great company of Fix-It Incorporated, we have coal. This is similar to one of the other builds we've used, a manifold build, like the quartz, which means that the coal generators at the end are not getting any coal. And they won't until all the first ones fill up. And I'm using the wrong belts. Glad I noticed that right away. Okay, so I fixed that belt. It's Mark II all the way up to here. This needs to be Mark II. This one needs to be Mark II, and this one needs to be Mark II. And this one is, but doesn't need to be because we only need 100. We only need more than 60 coal per minute up to this point. Because these first 4 coal generators will use up 60. So as long as we can get 60 out that back end, we'll be good. Anyway, like I said, these are going to slowly fill up. So this one's got 100. So now this one's going to use 15 per minute, but it'll allow the next one to fill up. That one's full. And this one's not yet full, which means this next one will be being starved. And the one after this, yeah, it's not even on. Every once in a while it'll get, yep, see there. Every once in a while, after getting only half of what's supplied to this belt, after being split, it'll burn it up and then have to wait for more. Okay, a quick paint job. Much improved. Blue for the water, black for the coal. Simple. I like it. Pretty great. Alright, our production is now bouncing between 450 and 600. Which is max power. Which means we are now safe to connect these to each other. So there. Now we have one grid. Now we have one grid. Our capacity is going to bounce around. This is because of the biomass. However, I have enough faith in this system. I'm going to go and get rid of the biomass one. Then I'll come back and check and make sure this is running correctly. Looks like it is. Should be. I'm happy. Are you happy? Having fun? I'm having fun. Why not subscribe? Costs nothing to you. Really helps out the channel. And I'd really appreciate it. Start by getting rid of all these red ones that don't have any fuel in them. Actually, let's get rid of all of them. Oh dear, what's happened? Before I head back and check on the power again, let's top this off. One reinforced iron plate short, 2 rotors short. 1, 2. Improved melee combat. That's gonna be awesome. Alright, check it out. Xenobasher. Look at this thing. It's seemingly electrified. Makes a really great whoosh. And it's a lot of powerful. It's a lot of power. Heavy electroshock self-defense weapon. Look at it. I think it takes out hogs in 2 hits. Takes out those hatcher pods in 2 hits. This thing's so powerful you can take out the hatcher pod before it even launches any hatchers. Well. Alright, let's head back to the coal power plant before the outro. Hey, while I'm running back, I see this uranium rock again. Don't mine that. That's a bad idea. If you mine it, it will go into your inventory, of course, and then you will die from radiation poison. And then when you die, if you try to go pick up your stuff again, you will have the nuclear waste again, and you will probably die again. Let's see if I can paint this. Nailed it. Alright, what I'm going to do right now just to test that it's working, since I'm all the way over here with nothing else to do, I'm going to throw up another miner just to extract coal, and then I'll put coal into those last ones by hand to make sure the system's nice and full, and make sure everything keeps running at 100% efficiency. 2, 3, 4. Did you ever watch that commercial as a kid? Assuming you're in your like 20s or 30s like I am. You ever see that commercial for, what is it, Tootsie Pop? And that little owl, and said, how many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? It was 1, 2, 3, and then bites it. Like it only takes 3 licks to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop. It's the most ridiculous thing I ever heard when I was a kid. And I'm apparently still quite angry about it today. Okay, now this should stay full. Alright, and now this belt should slowly start backing up. Alright, now this should be steady. And it is. And look at that. Automated power. As long as we don't go over 600 megawatts ever, we can never have a power outage. And that is going to be a huge burden off our shoulders. So let's grab 8 power shards and quadruple this. I'm kidding, we'll do that later. Episode over.